What's up, guys? We're live. It's another day, another live stream. I'm just gonna turn on this slideshow here. I gotta go live on Instagram as well. Let me just check that. All right, it looks like we're live on Instagram as well. Let me just move this camera down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, and we're live. We're live there on Instagram, and we're also live on Facebook. I'm double checking my sound here, guys. Let's see. Checking the sound. 1, 2, 3. Checking. It looks like both are working very well. I think I got the checking the sound. 1, 2, 3. Checking. It looks like both are working very well. I think I got the. Okay, let me turn off the desktop audio. There we go. All right, so we're live. How you guys doing? We're live on Instagram and Facebook. It's Life Hacks with Andrew. It's another episode. Every single day we're doing an episode live, and then I'm going to be editing these and updating them or uploading them to the Facebook channel, the Instagram channel, and the YouTube channel. I'm also live on YouTube, so if you guys want, you guys can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Eventually, this will only be on YouTube, so I don't want to saturate my Facebook with all of these live episodes. But yeah, it's a Thursday. Week's almost over. I don't know. Today seemed more like a Saturday to me because I started my day by playing basketball in the morning, and it was actually really good. I play with some really tough players on Saturdays, and well, during the week I play at least once or twice, sometimes 3 times a week. But yeah, it's good. It's good to play during the week and in the morning. You wake up early in the morning, and it's really really tough. So today, guys, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite speeches of all time. It's called The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. And before I get to that, let me preface by saying that when I went to jail, and even before going to jail, the things that led me to go to jail, first of all, were the things that led me to go to jail were negative things, obviously. And not only because they were negative actions, but I also had negative beliefs. And it was, going to jail when I was 22 years old and then getting out of jail at 24, I still had a lot to learn when it came to success, when it came to entrepreneurship. I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and a business owner. I just didn't know how. And I didn't really know what success was. So it was something that I learned over the course of the last 17 years. After going to jail for 2 years and then getting out and being able to learn from mentors and learn from people that taught me what success was and how to get it and how to gain it. It was obviously life-changing. And some people will look at it and be like, wow, you're successful, and you're 41, but you don't look 41 or whatever. I've heard a lot of things. It's like, how did you do it? It's like overnight. And it wasn't overnight. Took 17 years after I got out of jail to get to where I am now. And the reason I got to where I am now is because of books, mentors, bosses, people that, teachers, people that took me under their wing, had faith in me, believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself, to lift me up and to get to a point where I believed in myself and I was able to get there. But a lot of things had to change. So today I want to talk about The Strangest Secret by Mr. Earl Nightingale. For those of you guys that are not familiar with Earl Nightingale, he was an anchor in the United States back in the 50s. He was an author. When he was an author, he dealt mostly with the subjects of human character development, motivation, and a meaningful existence. He has a very famous speech called The Strangest Secret and a book by the same title. And you could find the speech on YouTube, him talking. It's pretty amazing. And that's what I want to talk about today, and how I've used that secret in my life to obtain the things that I have now. What do I have now? Today, I have a 7-digit digital marketing company together with my business partner. I have multiple real estate properties. Most of them are on Airbnb. I've got investments in crypto, in crypto coins, right? I've got investments in other projects as well, in businesses. How did I get that? Obviously, you have to make money in order to make more money. But how did I get to the point where I'm basically making money every single month? $50,000, $60,000, $80,000, and then finally getting to about $120,000 per month. How do you get to that point? Well, it starts with The Strangest Secret by Mr. Earl Nightingale. So let's talk about The Strangest Secret. First of all, I don't think he's a doctor, Mr. Earl Nightingale says, people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. We'll get back to this quote, but he says, people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. And that's a very important quote to remember, and we'll come back to it. But that's the first slide. The second slide. We've got to understand that we live in the golden age. He said this in the 50s when I think it was 1954 when he actually gave this speech over the radio, and it was recorded. He said that in that age they were living in a golden age. Imagine right now we're living in even a better age than when he was alive and giving this speech. We're in an era that man has looked forward to for thousands of years. We've been around on this earth for thousands of years, and never did any human imagine where we would be today. But now that we're here, many people take it for granted. And when he said that, when I heard that for the first time many years ago, I thought about it and I thought, wow, he's right. And it resonates today because we live in an age of almost unlimited information on the internet, and it's free. More information than any human being has ever had access to in human history. Yet many of us take it for granted. We forget. How many times have you caught yourself asking a friend for an answer like, hey, do you know what vitamin D does? Why would you ask your friend when your cell phone has every single answer you will ever need? We take things for granted, right? We could pretty much learn anything free online. Starting a business is super easy nowadays because you could basically set up a Facebook and Instagram account, take pictures with your phone or with somebody else's phone, put them up and start selling your products if you wanted to. Start selling your service if you wanted to. So we live in this golden age, but yet we take it for granted sometimes. Mr. Nightingale goes on to say that out of 100 people, only 5 will be rich at the age of 65. And this number still holds today. We live right now in an age where you could pretty much become what you want no matter where you came from, because we have so much free information. You can study whatever you want for free online. You can start a business selling your service online for free without having anyone's help. Yet, by the time most of us get to the age of 65, we will be broke. We will be depending on the government or a pension or friends and family to provide for us. That's pretty depressing, right? If you think about it, that kind of sucks, actually. If you think about it, out of 100 people, 95 people will not get to the point where they're financially independent. When I was 25, I remember it because I got out of jail when I was 24. When I was 25, I remember I was super motivated to do something. I didn't know what I wanted to do or how I was going to do it, but I knew that I was meant for something bigger, that I was meant to be successful, that I was not meant to go back to jail and spend the rest of my life in jail, or any amount of time for that matter. I knew that I was young, I was hungry, I was ambitious, and I was going to get there somehow, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. I thought I was going to get there a lot faster than I did. I'm 41 now. It only took 17 years. 17 years go by like this, but yes, it takes time. And if you ask most people, if you think about yourself, maybe you are 25, maybe you're younger than 25, maybe you're older, but if you ask most people at the age of 25, how they feel about their future, most are pretty optimistic, I would say. And Mr. Nightingale, in his speech, The Strangest Secret, he says that he agrees with that. He says that most people will are wide-eyed, they're ready to go, ready to get started with life, and ready to be successful. But think about our numbers. Out of 100, only 5 out of 125-year-olds that you ask, do you think you're going to be successful? Are you looking forward to the rest of your life? Mr. Nightingale says most of them will probably say yes, and they're very excited to get started with their life. Maybe they just finished university or they're still in school, but they know they're meant for something bigger. Yet, out of 100 of those people, only 5 will be 65 and what we would call, I guess, financially independent or successful in life. Now that's a startling number. When I heard that, I thought it was pretty crazy, because that doesn't give me much of a chance. I want to be part of the 5%, but 5% is such a small number of our population. Out of 100 people, only 5 are financially independent. And that doesn't mean wealthy or rich, just financially independent, not depending on your government to provide for you at age 65, not depending on friends and family to provide for you and take care of you. That's scary. I didn't want to reach the age of 65 with those problems, right? So one of the questions that Mr. Nightingale asks in The Strangest Secret speech is, why do so many people fail? Why out of 100 people, 95 quote unquote fail? They are dependent on others, dependent on the government, dependent on a pension. What happened to that sparkle they had when they were 25? What became of the dreams, the hopes, the plans? Mr. Nightingale asks, why is there such a large disparity between what these people intended to do and what they actually accomplished and are at age 65? When we talk about the 5% that succeeded, quote unquote, we need to talk about what success means. Success means many different things for many different people. But Mr. Nightingale, in his discourse, in his speech, he describes success as A progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I'll repeat that. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If a man is working toward a predetermined goal and knows where he's going, that man is a success. If he's not doing that, he's a failure. Success is the progressive realization of an ideal, of a worthy ideal. He talks about a distinguished psychiatrist by the name of Rollo May, who wrote a book called The Man's Search for Himself. And in the book, he said that the opposite, in our society today, the opposite of courage is not cowardice. It's not being a coward. It's being comfortable. It's conformity. So why do so many people fail by the age of 65? Or why do so many people fail in life and only 5% of them? Well, he says that the answer is conformity. And obviously, I agree with that. People are acting like everyone else without knowing why, without knowing where they're going. For example, if the teacher that's teaching you is teaching you because they need the paycheck, and you're following what the teacher is telling you to do, then you're just doing what another 95% person is doing, right? The teacher doesn't really want to be there. He or she is getting a paycheck, therefore they're there to go through the motions and tell you what's in the book to learn. And you're taking it in, and you're being taught by another 95% person. So we're basically listening. Most of us listen and follow what 95% of the people are telling us to do, which is, in my opinion, go to school, get educated, get a job, work there, be secure, buy a house, maybe with a mortgage, pay off your mortgage, get a car on a loan, pay off your loan sometime or trade it in, and get to 65 until you get a pension and Social Security. And with that, you'll live a nice, comfortable life earning, if you have a 401k, maybe your 401k will decide for you, but you'll have a comfortable life at 65, and then you can rest and retire and do whatever you desire. That's what 95% of the people teach us and what 95% of us believe. So think about it. We learn to read by the time we're 7. We learn to make a living by the time we're 25 or so. And usually by that time, we have a family to take care of. Some of us already have kids by the age of 25. And yet by the time we're 65, we haven't learned how to become financially independent. Why? Because we conform. We're acting like the wrong percentage group. We're not acting like the 5%. We're acting like the 95% of the people in this world that decided to conform to what society tells us is successful. Go get educated, get a job, buy a home with a loan, get a car on a loan, take a trip on using your credit cards, pay those off or work to pay those off, pay your bills, pay into Social Security, open up a 401k, hopefully if you're lucky enough, and then retire at 65, and then you can do whatever your heart desires. That's the trouble, in my opinion. When I was 25, fresh out of jail, for some reason I knew that wasn't going to be my path. And well, I knew exactly why that wasn't going to be my path, because I was a convicted felon and no one's going to give me a job with a 401k and a salary. So I knew that I couldn't conform to society's ideal of success. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't at that moment. So I took the road less traveled. I had to take it. Obviously, whether you believe in God and it was God's plan, or you believe in divine intervention and that's what the cards that were dealt to me and I had to play them, whatever it is that you believe, I just knew when I was 25, fresh out of jail, that for me, I couldn't conform to society's standard of success. So why do people conform? Mr. Nightingale asks this question in his talk, The Strangest Secret, or in his discovery of the Strangest Secret. Why do 95% out of 125-year-olds conform and are not financially independent by 65? Mr. Nightingale says that most people don't even know why. They don't know what happened exactly, but they believe that their lives were shaped by circumstances, by things that happened to them by exterior forces. Those people are called, or what he calls, outer direct people. People that believe that the reason they are the way they are and why they are in the situation they are is because of the events that happened in their life. I was fired. My wife left me. My husband divorced me. I was just unlucky and I didn't get the job. My business failed because I used to own a bookstore and now everybody's reading on Kindles. So people that believe that their life is shaped by the circumstances or the events that happen in their life. For me, it's been 17 years since I was released from prison. In those 17 years, I've worked on my mindset because I knew that I couldn't conform to society's standard of success. I had to work on my mindset and become one of the 5%. I knew that I was going to become one of the 5%, and I thought it was going to happen at 35. I'm 41 now. This is when it's happened. And I thought that I could do it earlier, but I needed to change my beliefs and my mindset. What I've done is I've ingrained into my subconscious that life is not the events that happen to me, but how I react to those events. I'll repeat that again. Life is not the events that happen to you, but how you react to those events. In history, there's been many people that have gone to jail for 2 years, even more, and have gotten out. Statistically, most of those people have returned to jail. Statistically, those people, based on what the statistics in the United States say, that if someone goes to jail, it's a 70% chance that they're going to go back to jail, commit a crime, and it'll be a revolving door of going in and out of jail until they commit a bigger crime and they're in jail for life, right? So statistically, I was on the losing end. But I convinced myself, and I have it ingrained in my subconscious, that life is not the events that happen to me, but how I react to them. Many have used jail. It would have been really easy for me to go through life and used this event that happened to me, going to jail for 2 years, and say, fuck, man, life is against me. God doesn't love me. The universe doesn't want me. The United States definitely doesn't want me because I'm a fucking immigrant, another beaner. I could have used all of those excuses as to why I should have stayed broke, why I shouldn't have been successful. And many people use that as an excuse, or whatever the event that happened to them, the negative event that happened in their life. It could have been their childhood. You know, my dad beat me. Obviously, there are some very traumatic life events when you're a kid that definitely could shape your mind and your psychology, but that's obviously beyond what I'm talking about. So there are many excuses as to why an event holds you back. So my message to you, don't conform and believe, not think about this, but believe that life is not about the events that happen to you. The events in your life do not define you. You can win the lottery. You're not a millionaire. It's how you react to those events that shape your life. That is life. That's my opinion. That's not Mr. Nightingale's, but obviously I kind of took that from him, or I learned that over time. Another thing that Mr. Nightingale asks is, why do you work? You know, think about this yourself. Why do you work? Ask yourself, why do I work? Why do I wake up in the morning and go to work or school if you're in school? Why are you doing the things that you're doing right now in life? Many of you may answer, well, I work because I need to pay bills. I work because I want to help my family. I work because I want to become independent and live on my own. I work because I want to have money for things and I want to travel, I want to go out with friends, etc. If I ask you right now, why do you work? And your answer is something like the ones I just mentioned, or even worse, I don't know. You might want to rethink that answer because you may be in trouble right now. Why? Well, let's go back to Mr. Nightingale's definition of a success. He says that the only person who succeeds is a person who is progressively realizing a worthy ideal. It's he who says, I'm going to become this, and then begin to work towards that goal. For example, the success is the school teacher who is teaching school because that's what she wanted to do or he wanted to do. The success is the woman who is a wife and a mother because that is what she wanted to become, and now she's doing a great job of it. The success is the man who runs the corner gas station because that's what he wanted to do. The success is the successful salesman who wants to become a top-notch salesman and grow and build with his organization. A success is anyone who is doing deliberately a predetermined job because that's what he decided to deliberately do. But only 1 out of 20 people do that. So ask yourself again, why do I work? Why do I get up in the morning to do this? And if your answer is not because this is what I want to do, then you may have to rethink why you're going to work. You may want to rethink your plans. You may want to rethink your goals. That brings me to the next slide, which is goals. It's imperative to, no matter where you are in life, to have goals. When I was 25, fresh out of jail, I didn't have goals at the time. I knew that I wanted to be successful, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. I just knew that I had grit. I said if I could do 2 years in prison, I could definitely do anything in life, that I could do any job, and I'm going to do a great job at it. So I had the motivation, but I just didn't have the goals. That's why it's taken me 17 years to become financially independent. That's why it's taken me 17 years to build a business. That's why it's taken me 17 years to literally make this live stream and talk to you about this. It's not because I wanted it this way. It's because I never really set goals. I never really had a why. It's imperative that no matter where you are in life right now, that you have goals. Without goals, you have no direction. When times get tough, you lose hope and you give up if you don't have goals. Without goals, you have no direction. When times get tough, you give up because there are no goals. All of those people in the examples that I was just talking about, like the successful teacher, that is a success because that's what she wants to do and that's what she's doing now. All of those people had some sort of goal, and that's why they are a success. They had a goal, and they worked for it, and they reached it, and they're in the goal, and that's why they're a success. Mind you, I'm not talking about money yet. I'm not even talking about making millions of dollars. I'm talking about achieving your goal. And for Mr. Nightingale, achieving a goal was a success. That is a success. If you talk to somebody that's doing what they love to do, they say most of them don't even care about the money. And many of them will have made a lot of money, but most of them don't even care because they're loving what they do. So why do people with goals succeed in life and people without them fail? And this is the secret, basically. If you understand completely what I'm going to tell you right now, from this moment on, your life will never be the same. The key to success and the key to failure is that we become what we think about. It's that simple. We become what we think about. For example, when I was 25 and fresh out of jail, I knew and I thought about it. For 17 years, I've been thinking about it. For 17 years, I've been ingraining it in my brain that I was going to be financially independent. I was going to be a business owner. I was going to be a mentor. I was going to be a teacher. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I knew that I was going to get there. I believed it. I thought about it. I wrote it down. I had visualization. I had pictures of what I wanted in life. I still do. It only continues to grow. So the key to success and the key to failure, that's very important, is that we become what we think about. Throughout history, we've had many disagreements as human race, right? Whether it's religion, philosophies, but there's one principle that we all can come to agree on, that we become what we think about. For example, Marcus Aurelius, he said, a man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, a man is what he thinks about all day long. William James said, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes and mind. And finally, in the Bible, Mark 9:23, mind you, I'm not Christian, Catholic, or religious at all, but many people have been influenced by this. If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. We become what we think. We become what we think about. And that was, for me, something that was ingrained in my brain early on. After getting out of jail, I was fortunate enough to have mentors that taught me this. I was fortunate enough to come across people that believed in me more than I believed in myself and taught me this. And it only took 17 years, but here I am. So how does this work? How does this, you are what you believe. You are what you think you are. How does this work? We've heard it. We've all heard it before, but how does it work? Why do we become what we think about? Mr. Nightingale gives a very good explanation and a very good metaphor. He says that our brain is like the land. Whatever you plant in the brain or on the land will grow. As long as you nurture the land, it'll grow. The land doesn't care what you plant. It can be corn or it can be poison. As long as you nurture it, it will grow. The mind is the same way. Whatever you plant in your mind is going to grow. And many cynics will say, well, if that's true, then why don't people use more of their brain? Well, science has proven to us that human beings only use 10% of our brain. Imagine if we used more than that. Even if we used 1% more of 10%, if we used 11% of our brain, we would be so far ahead of the others, we would be part of the 5%. Mr. Nightingale says our mind comes as standard equipment when we're born, right? We come with a mind. When we're born, we come with a brain. And it's something that comes to us for free, right? We get it for free. And things that are given to us for free, we usually place little value on. Things that we pay money for, we value. The paradox is that the exact reverse is true. Everything that really is worthwhile in life comes to us for free. Our mind, our soul, our body, our hopes, our dreams, our ambitions, our intelligence, our love, our children and friends. All these priceless possessions are free. But the things that cost us money are actually very cheap, if you think about it. Everything is made in China for very cheaply. So everything that costs us money is actually pretty cheap, but the things that are priceless are free. A good man can be completely wiped out and make another fortune. For example, I could lose all my money, and I know in my heart and in my brain that if I lost everything today, I would pick myself back up and gain it, if not more, tomorrow. I can do that several times over, and I've done it. I've failed many times in business and found myself broke again. It only took 17 years to get to where I am now. But Mr. Nightingale says that a good man can be wiped clean and make another fortune the next day and do it over and over. Even if our homes are burnt down, and we can rebuild our home. But the things we got for free, we can never replace. The human mind isn't used merely because the full potential of our human mind isn't used merely because we take it for granted. It can do any kind of job we assign it to, but generally speaking, we use it for little jobs instead of big important ones. And I definitely agree with that. He says that, I'll read that again, that we're not using our brain, we're not using our mind, not because we take it for granted, but because we can assign it any job, but we generally assign little jobs to our brain instead of these giant ones. Like I said before, universities and science has proven that we only use 10% of our brain. So today, I want you to decide, what is it that you really want? Ask yourself, why do I work? Why do I get up in the morning? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I studying what I'm studying? And if your answer is, I don't know, you're going to have to rethink what you're doing. You're going to have to set some goals. The crazy thing about you are what you think you are, or you become what you think you are, is that it's the secret to success, but it's also the secret to failure. The same rule can lead a man to a life of success, wealth, happiness, and all the things he has ever dreamt of. But that very same law can lead him into the gutter. It's all in how we use it. Are we going to use it for the good, or are we going to use it for the bad? Sometimes we've been so conditioned to use it for the bad because it's very easy to think negatively. It's actually easier to be negative than it is to be positive, because being positive through trials and tribulations is painful and it's hard to do. It's easier to be negative. That's why we have phrases like, "Oh, misery loves company. My friends are like are like crabs in a bucket. Every time I try to get out, they're pulling me down." And people don't even know this. They don't even realize this. But it's easier to be negative than it is to be positive. So this is the strangest secret. Why is this secret so strange? You know, Mr. Nightingale wrote the book and gave the speech, The Strangest Secret. And the strangest secret to him is that we become what we think we are, right? We become what we believe we are. Why is that so strange, since we've known this throughout time? The Bible says it, which is one of the oldest scriptures on earth, many times. Why is this so strange? For him, it's strange because we already know it. We're almost born knowing this. Yet many actually become successful in life. Only 5% of us, out of 100 people, 5 people will be financially independent and consider themselves successful in life at 65. Yet we all know that we become what we believe. That's why it's so strange. So how did I become successful? Why do I consider myself successful? Not because I make a lot of money and not because my business generates a lot of money. I consider myself successful because I'm literally doing what I love to do. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm making this stream, and I guarantee you that in a year or two, I will be making $10,000, $20,000 because of this stream and because of my YouTube channel, Facebook channel, and influence. I wholeheartedly believe it. I visualized it. I wrote it down. I have it on my wall, and it's something that will happen. And it's going to be great because it's an extra $10,000, $20,000, and the sky's the limit there. It just depends on how much I want to make. But I'm not doing this for that money because I don't really need it. I'm doing it because I love to do this and because I would love to help someone change their life. Help someone do what they love. So here's a little 30-day test that Mr. Nightingale has. And you should do this. I'm not asking you to do it. I'm saying that if you really want to be successful in life, you should do this. I've done it, and I continue to do it. I'll do it for the rest of my life. Number one thing that you should do in order to achieve your goal is to write down your goal. Write it down. You can write it on a card. You could write it on your cell phone. Make sure that it's somewhere that is easily accessible at all times. It could be even monetary. Let's say you want to make more money. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make more money. Never degrade the objective of making money. Making money is okay, and having a goal to make more money or a certain amount of money is good, and it's positive. So it can be a figure of money. It could be literally to graduate in whatever it is that you want to study. It may be buying a house. It may be becoming successful at your job. It may be a particular position in life. It could be a more harmonious family, right? It could be whatever. Write down your goal. And below your goal, write. And again, I'm not religious or anything, but this is what I write, and this is what I always think about. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. You should read that and write it down. Write your goal and write, ask and you shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be open upon you. I'll put that slide here. So you have your goal written, and you have this at the bottom. And it could be smaller, but make sure it's somewhere visible, somewhere that you can reach it. I mean, you don't have to see it every single day of your life, but you should definitely have it somewhere accessible. The next thing is, now that you have that written, is to prevent negativity. When you come to a difficult situation in the pursuit of your goal, you should pull that card out or pull your goal out, whether it's on your cell phone, on a notepad, whatever it is. Pull it out and read it and get back into that positive mindset. Let's say you're having a terrible day at work or at school or with your wife, or your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your family is on your back. It's just so stressful. Whatever it is, you pull out that should be your safety blanket. Every time you see that, it should take you back to a positive state of mind, a happy place where no matter what happened today, it's okay because this is why I'm doing this. This is why I need to persevere. And I know that whatever I'm giving out today, I'm going to receive. So I can't continue to be negative. I have to be positive. Next, you want to give 110%. So what is 110%? If you feel like you're giving 100% life, that's not enough. One thing that I learned after I got out of jail and I joined a multi-level marketing company in 2005, I would come into the office sometimes, and sometimes life was in the way. And my mentor was teaching me this about changing my attitude. And he was very hard on me. And he would say, sometimes I would come into the office for our motivational meeting of the day, and I wasn't smiling. He would send me home and tell me not to come back until I have a smile. It was hurting his business, but in the long run, he knew that if he ingrained that habit into my brain of that this is a happy place, and today I don't care, leave all your worries and all of your bad vibes at home or outside the door, that his business was going to receive tenfold. And it was true. So giving 110%, it means that even if you're having a terrible day, you put on a smile. Even if you're having a terrible day, you greet people, you say hi, you have a positive outlook on the day, you work harder at your job. Because remember, what you give is what you get. You want to be mindful of this, right? Mindful means that you're present in the moment and you realize that you're being negative. You look at your card or your cell phone, you look at your goal, you read the lines, ask and it shall be given to you, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. And then you get back into the state of, okay, I'm doing this for a good reason. I'm doing this because what I give is what I get. So today I'm going to give more. I'm going to smile more. I'm going to say hi more. I'm going to work harder at my job. I'm going to give more than I've ever given. That's giving 110%. Remind yourself of this. Now that you have a direction, a goal, you know where you're going. You now belong to part of that 5% of people who make it in life, who at 65 can look back and say, I am a success. Now that you have this goal, you have direction. You're no longer a boat without a navigational compass or a navigation crew. You are now going in a direction of your goal. Don't worry so much as how you're going to get to your goal. That was one of the things that I was taught when I, coming out of jail. It was that you shouldn't worry about how you're going to get there. Worry about changing your brain, changing the way that you think. That's the biggest thing that should be on your mind at all times. God will provide for you. Again, I'm not religious, but God is the best way for me to summarize this divine intervention, or the universe. You could say the universe, but life will provide its way as long as you change your brain. The important thing is to know where you're going. That you cannot live without. If you don't know where you're going, or you don't know where you want to get, life becomes very difficult. And you wind up in jail, as I did, because I wanted to get, I thought I wanted to be rich. I thought I wanted money. So I didn't really care, and I went the easy route and ended up in jail for 2 years. And I learned my lesson. After that, I had to change everything about my core beliefs. So the important thing is to know where you're going, or where you want to go. All of the answers will come to you on their own and at the right moment. For me, it came 17 years later. Obviously, the answers have come over time, but now it is very clear what I want in life, and it's very clear how I'm getting it, and it's very clear how I'm going to continue to get it. For me, it's very clear. Life and making money and being successful and being happy is now pretty easy for me, and it wasn't before, but it is now. You want to memorize this. This is what I memorized. All I need is a purpose and faith. If I have a purpose and I have faith that I'm going to get there, that's all I need in life. I don't need to have a ton of money. I don't need investment capital. I don't need any of that, because if I have a goal, if I have a purpose, and I truly believe that I will get there, no matter what, that's all I need in life. So for the next 30 days, as you look at your goal and you read this phrase that I have up here, do your best. That's all you could do. If you find yourself overcome with negativity and you let it win, you had a shitty day, the 30 days start over. It's not, 30 days and one day I felt shitty and I went to bed angry and mad and okay, I've got, 29 days left. Nope. The 30 days reset every time you don't follow through and you don't have a great day. The days that you didn't have a great day, that's when it resets and you start your 30 days over again. When you get to your 30 days of no bad days, don't continue with, doing this until you've made up your mind that this goal is truly what you want to do. That's the real test of what your goal is if after 30 days of doing this, of seeing your goal, visualizing, being positive, overcoming negativity, if after 30 days of doing that, you look at your goal and you say, this is working and I want to continue, then that's when you should continue. But if you get to those 30 days and say, well, this goal doesn't seem as big anymore after I've gone through 30 days of hell and I feel okay, then you may want to change your goal. You may want to make it bigger, or you just might want to change the route. So I've been doing this for the past 17 years, where I visualize my goal and I write it down. And whenever I have a tough day or shitty day, I come back to my bed, which is made, by the way. It's very important that you make your bed every day. And I remember, whenever I had those shitty moments, that I overcame those shitty moments because I've programmed myself to be positive regardless of anything, because I know my why. I know my goal. I know my dream. I know where I want to go. So it's very important to know where you want to go. It's very important to write it down. And it's very important to remind yourself when you're having a shitty day of where you want to go, of that goal. So let's talk about money. Money does not equate success. Mr. Nightingale states that in his discourse. He says, the strangest secret is that we become what we think we are. We become what we believe we are. But money is not equal to success. When I was 25 and fresh out of jail, I still thought that in order to be successful in life, you had to have money, especially living in Southern California where, someone could be driving a 911 turbo Porsche or a Lamborghini or a Mercedes AMG. And you're like, fuck, man, that person is successful. But in reality, you don't know how much debt that person is in, how sad that person is, or how depressed they are, or how unfulfilled they feel. You don't know that. Money does not equal success. Mr. Nightingale says that you don't make money. The only people that make money are people that work in a mint. You earn money. And how do you earn money? You earn money by providing people with a service or product which are needed and useful. You earn money by providing people with services or products which are needed and useful. We exchange time, products, and service for someone else's money. The amount of money we earn is directly proportionate to what we give. Mr. Nightingale says, success is not the result of making money. Making money is the result of success. To me, that's like bone chilling. Like I love that phrase. Success is not the result of making money. Making money is the result of success. And success is in direct proportionate to your service. People think that you're successful once you make a lot of money, but that's not true. You make a lot of money once you're successful. And that's what I found after 17 years of fucking trying to make money and become successful by making $1 million. That to me was the vision of success. But after 17 years, I realized that making $1 million didn't make me successful or doesn't make me successful. What made me $1 million was becoming successful at my craft, which is digital marketing. You have to be of service first before you can expect any money for that service. So on your journey to your goals, whether it's the 30-day challenge that I just gave you, or it's your lifelong dream to do whatever it is that you want to do, don't worry about the money. Work hard, build something, dream big, and create it. As you go through the 30-day test, remember that what you get in return is directly in relation to the quality and quantity of your service that you give. Money measures your service, not success. Remember that. Don't get it twisted. Money and success is not the same. Money is not the measurement of success. Money is the measurement of your service. And the amount of service that you give will measure how successful you become. Do this test for 30 days and then continue it for the rest of your life. That's my advice because that's what I've done. You'll find success and money. Yeah, you'll find it. It will come in due time and in its own manner. Some of you will never believe how you made your first million. I didn't believe how I generated $1 million doing search engine optimization for drug and alcohol rehab centers in the United States. That sounds so boring, but it's true. It's insane how life works when you start believing in what you want to become. By 65, you'll be part of the 5% of the people who are successful. But remember, if you believe that you are successful now and you believe in your goal and you're working towards your goal, you don't have to wait till 65 to say you're successful. You are already part of that 5% of successful people. So keep pushing, keep dreaming, keep creating, and work your ass off, and don't give any fucking excuses. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It was a great live. I'll stay on. I'm going to stop the recording. Make sure to like, follow, and share on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's just youtube.com/Andrew Macia. Just look for Andrew Macia. This is Life Hacks with Andrew. Every single day for the next 2 years, we'll be doing a live, and then we will edit it and put it up. But I'm stopping the recording now. All right. Whew, what a fucking great speech. The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. If you haven't heard it, go to YouTube and look it up. It's fucking amazing. Those of you guys on Instagram and you haven't seen this before, I'm doing a live episode about business, motivation, life, whatever it is that we want to talk about, or whatever it is that I feel like talking about and sharing with you over the course of the last 17 years since I left jail, or I didn't leave it, I was released from it. I've learned many things, and I've been able to construct a business and multiple investments, and I continue to grow and I continue to learn, and I want to share that with you because I think it's time in my life to do that. Thank you guys for all the likes and the comments. I really appreciate those. It's Thursday, which means that I'm going to go watch a Tom Petty cover band. A Tom Petty of all people to cover. Congratulations on all the success. I am I'm a true fan. Listen, bro. Okay. Thank you, Johnny, for the comments, and I just saw your message, so I will answer your message once I'm done. Yeah, man. Life is funny, but once you find the secret to success, you'll be successful for the rest of your life. It's that easy. It's hard to believe when you're younger, or literally when you're when you hit rock bottom, like I did when I was 22 years old. I went to prison, have been in prison for 2 years, and getting out, I was gung-ho to be successful, but it took 17 years to get to where I am today. It didn't happen overnight. Granted that I am hard-headed, and I learn, obviously, through experience. I'm not very good at following directions, or I wasn't when I was younger. Now, in order to become a good leader, I had to become a good follower. I had to become a great follower. I had to be the best fucking follower there was in the world in order to be where I am now. And that's another secret to success, is that in order to become a leader, you have to be a follower. You have to be a great follower, because you have to understand what it takes to be a follower. Usually in the military, the sergeants or the corporals or the people that are high ranking they don't just go to that position. They literally have to be soldiers first, right? And it's true in life as well. So thank you guys for joining this live broadcast. I know that there's people on Instagram. I fucking hate Instagram because I have to put my phone all the way over there. I can't restream using Streamlabs, which I use to put on YouTube and Facebook. So I can't see your comments right away. But I will get to the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day and an amazing week. I'll be live again tomorrow with a completely different topic, and it'll be fun and it'll be informative. And I hope it gets you through whatever troubles you're getting through or whatever negativity you're going through. I hope that this finds you and lifts you up to continue and push another day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. All right, so we're off of Instagram. I'm going to get off of Facebook as well.